The algorithm wasn't supposed to have a heartbeat, but there it was, a faint, rhythmic pulse in the data flow of the Martian colonial transport network, a ghost in a machine designed for flawless, soulless efficiency. From his workstation, suspended like a pearl within the hollowed-out ribcage of the Zenith Holdings tower, Lorian watched the pulse again. He was a data integrity auditor, a job title that was a polite euphemism for a corporate priest who listened to the confessions of vast automated systems. His world was the Spire, a silent, biomorphic cathedral of polished white composites and integrated shadowless light, a place where messy things like humanity were an architectural inconvenience. His job was to find the flaws in that perfection. This flaw was elegant, a whisper, a tiny recurring discrepancy in the outbound manifests for Zenith's deep system supply freighters. Not just random supplies, he now saw as he dug deeper. A half-liter of pediatric-grade nutrient suspension. A single sterile medical kit containing nanofiber filters for infant respiratory support. The amounts were so small they were absorbed by the system's margin of error calculations, but they happened every 72 hours. A heartbeat. This wasn't just theft, it was life support. The precision, the deep system access, the sheer audacity of hiding it in plain sight, it spoke of someone with a god's-eye view of the entire network. Someone like his own departmental director, someone on the Zenith board. The thought sent a jolt of ice through his veins. He remembered Auditor Kalen. 3 years ago, Kalen had flagged an accounting discrepancy that pointed towards the executive level. Kalen's entire digital existence had been archived due to data corruption a week later. No one ever asked why. This wasn't a flaw Lorian had discovered, it was a landmine. He could delete the query, erase his logs, but the image of those filters, the thought of a child's lungs, held him fast. Against his better judgment, he cross-referenced the cryptic routing code with the city's deep-level architectural schematics, a restricted database he was not technically supposed to access. He bypassed the security layer with a string of code he'd developed for just such an occasion, a skeleton key for a digital kingdom. The result bloomed on his screen. Sub-level 42, Habitation Unit Gamma. A place that didn't exist on any map. A forgotten pocket of space between the Spire's foundations and the upper warrens. And then a new icon blinked into existence on the corner of his console. A small blood-red hourglass. Secondary audit flag, query 77B alpha, cross-reference violation, resolution clock 1459. He had tripped a silent alarm. The system itself was now auditing him. He had 15 minutes to close his query in a way that satisfied the machine, or his case would be automatically escalated, along with a log of his every unsanctioned keystroke. He was no longer the hunter, he was the prey. His comlink chimed, a soft melodic tone that felt like a death knell. It was Director Hestia, her face appearing in a small hollow window, serene and unreadable as a marble statue. "Lorian," she said, her voice smooth as polished plasteel. "Your quarterly integrity cycle is due for closure. Any outstanding flags?" The timer on his screen clicked to 12:32. "No, Director," Lorian heard himself say, his voice a marvel of calm he did not feel. "The network is stable. A few sensor ghosts, all resolved. The system is clean." The lie felt slick and heavy in his mouth. "Excellent," Hestia said. "Maintain the standard." Her image vanished. 10:17. The standard. He looked at the heartbeat on his screen, the lifeline to a ghost colony of children, and then at the red hourglass counting down to his own professional execution. Report the truth and suffer Kalen's fate. Do nothing and be purged by the secondary audit. He chose the third path, the Martian path. His fingers flew across the console, a frantic, desperate ballet. He didn't delete the anomaly. Instead, he accessed the diagnostic protocols for the entire logistics network. With quiet precision, he wrote a new line of code into the system's next scheduled software optimization patch. It was a simple, elegant worm that would flag the ghost account's resource drain as a critical power fluctuation anomaly during a routine deep system diagnostic 3 weeks from now. It would be discovered by the machine itself, untraceable to him, its origins buried under layers of maintenance logs. Then he addressed the red hourglass. He couldn't erase his query, but he could reclassify it. He buried the link to sublevel 42 and flagged the initial anomaly as a cascading sensor malfunction. He fabricated a convincing stream of ghost data to support the false diagnosis and logged the issue as resolved by his patch. It was a lie so technically perfect the machine would believe it. He hit execute. The red hourglass vanished. The resolution clock was gone. 00. He leaned back, his body trembling, the pristine white of his chair feeling cold and damp. He had done it. He had maintained the illusion. But for the next 3 weeks, he would sit in his silent office and listen to the quiet, steady heartbeat of a secret he had just set to self-destruct, knowing that with every pulse he was both sustaining a life and counting down to its end.